help manage. By the way, this speech is going to be recorded, so if you don't want your face to show up on the recording, this would be a good time to turn your camera off. But Kris is a distinguished Toastmaster. She's also a former member of the TRIO, which is a 3-person body that governs Toastmasters for the state of Wisconsin and the UP. Her current path is innovative planning, which helps to build an understanding of the steps needed to manage a project, as well as to create innovative solutions. She will be focusing all the speeches and projects in this path based on her position as Employment and Training Specialist with the Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development. Tonight's speech is a modified portion of an hour-long session that is given to job seekers on unemployment. The focus is on branding and marketing yourself through communication with others during your job search. And she will be evaluated this evening by Donna Fuller. Donna, would you please give us more information about her project?
Yes. Hello, everyone. So, as you mentioned, Kris is working on the innovative planning path and is giving a level 2 speech tonight. This is a connect with your audience speech. The purpose of this project is for Kris to practice the speech needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience, obviously job seekers. And she has asked for 10 to 12 minutes for the presentation. Back to you, please.
Thank you. And Kris, I believe you might have asked for 8 to 10, but it was deemed that if you wanted a 10 to 12.
We further adjusted it 10 to 12.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So the floor is yours, Kris.
Thank you so much, Liz. Thank you, everyone, for your attention this evening. I am going to share my screen. Advanced PowerPoint and branding. So I'm here in the bottom corner of the screen. What I want to share with you this evening, and I love the fact that we have so many students here tonight. I think the information that I'll be sharing with you, when I look back on it, I wish that I would have known about this information in high school, in college, after college. Think about this. They brand a cow. They put their mark on that cow. That's what you need to do for yourself. You are putting a mark on who you are for others to see. That's what our evening's discussion is going to be. You need to know who you are in order to market yourself. And I want you to think about, what are your goals? What is your end employment goal? And once you know what that is, you are then able to begin that marketing process. You need to develop an elevator speech. This is about a 30 to 60 second commercial. This is your advertisement. What are your experiences, your skills, your abilities, your goals? What is it that sets you apart from another job seeker, from the competition to get that job? Once you know what you want, once you have this commercial developed, you're going to carry this message through all the various ways of communication through this job seeking process. You're going to be attending different events. Maybe you'll be attending a career fair, an employment fair. You are going to be putting together your message on your cover letter, on your resume, even through your references and your thank you letters. You're going to be calling and talking with people. Maybe you're leaving a voicemail message. You'll be attending networking events. If we were not in this COVID situation, we'd be together in an actual room. We would be doing this interaction one-on-one. This is what we would call a networking event. And that ultimate question when you are sitting in front of that interviewer, tell me about yourself. What do you say when you are asked that question? Start practicing what you would say to sell yourself. How are you branding yourself? Briefly touched on networking. This is still one of the best ways to find a job, to find that in to where you want to be. But networking doesn't happen in a bubble. You need to build those relationships with other people. And oftentimes, when you know someone, it's not that they specifically have information about a job opening or the potential of a job opening. It's who you know and then who they know. That's what networking is all about. We're interconnected with so many different people. And when all of these different people understand what you are looking for, what is your end result, they will be in a position to help you on your job search. One of the things that you may or may not think about as an opportunity for a job search option or for a networking opportunity is volunteering. Unpaid work, I can't do that. I have to have a job. I got to get paid money. Yes, I agree. You need money. But when you volunteer and give of your time to help someone else out in the community, someone who is not as well off as you are, you feel good. And when you feel good, you're in a better place to put yourself out there. When you volunteer, you are going to get those new networking contacts. A lot of companies these days, they give their staff volunteer hours off. So maybe it is several hours a month or a certain number of hours throughout the year. Presidents, vice presidents, managers, lower level staff, they're all going out to perform some community service. Maybe they're going out to build a house for Habitat for Humanity, and oh, that's where you're volunteering also. This is your chance to network with different people. Gives you another avenue to meet people, find out different opportunities. If you have been unemployed for a longer period of time, or as a student, this is really only your first foray into the job search market, this is an avenue for you to start filling in gaps on your resume, start developing some additional skills. Let's say you want to work on social media. Oh, I can help work on your website for Habitat for Humanity. Let me help you with that. And if you're lucky, there could be the potential for it to turn into a paid job. You never know what opportunities are out there. As you start applying for jobs, if you have never heard of this, the ATS, Applicant Tracking System, it is not fun. It is a computer-based program that when you type in your information on the computer or you hit send on your resume on an email, your resume gets put into this computer basically, and it goes through a whole bunch of algorithms and and it processes things, and oh, this resume is going here, this resume is going here, and oh, yours is getting a rejection email automatically. It's sometimes difficult to try and get past this ATS system. But if you understand a little bit of how it works, and I'm not going to go into much detail, I'm going to keep this very simple. But basically, you want to match the terminology on your resume to match what's going on with the company. Match those keywords, and you're going to have a much higher chance of getting put through on the applicant tracking system to actually have your resume seen by the employer. When we're talking about the keywords, this is something that we want to match. So you're looking at a job title, and it's interesting. We have some companies who use very unique job titles. I actually stopped at a restaurant tonight, and they're hiring smile makers, curl comedians, or something to that effect. Well, if you put curl comedian on your resume, no one's going to know what that is. If you put food prep assembler, people would understand what that is. The administrative assistant, one company, they have a chaos controller. What is that? Well, I'm an administrative assistant working my way up to be an executive assistant. Think about using standard titles. Your skills. Again, customize what you're actually doing with what is on that job description. Instead of just saying Microsoft Office, you're highly proficient in Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Publisher, whatever it may be. Location could be an option. A lot of companies are looking to see if you are willing to relocate or not. Start doing some research on the company. What are their visions, their values, their mission? Look at the job posting, the descriptions, match up your keywords. Tag crowd.com and jobscan.co. Two different websites where you can look at, you can enter in your resume and the job posting, and it will compare and give you a percentage of how well you are matching keywords. On your resume, you want to start showcasing what your soft skills are. So your hard skills, those are your technical skills. But the soft skills, these are things you can't specifically measure, but employers want these. Strong work ethic. We want the leadership skills. We want team building. We want problem solving skills. Whatever are your soft skills, make sure that you can back it up. If you put that you are flexible and adaptable, have the story. Actions are louder than words. If an employer asks you, tell me a little bit about this flexibility and adaptability, have the story, have the example to explain why that is a skill of yours. Cover letters, they are still acceptable today. You want to focus 3 things. Your first paragraph, identify the position you're applying for, where you found it. Second paragraph, tell them 1 or 2 things. Again, what makes you their candidate of choice? Don't just repeat what's on the resume, but now start selling yourself why you are the best candidate. In that third paragraph, you want to have a closing statement where you can ask them for a response. How do you respond back to them? How can you follow up with them? This is just a simple example of a cover letter. I will be sharing the PowerPoint with everyone later. When you're looking at your resume, a couple of things that always jump out at me, and especially because there have been a few changes over the years. Definitely want your name on there, and you want appropriate, let me emphasize, appropriate contact information. Have an email that is professional. You don't want Big Sugar Daddy 99. You want K Pool. You want something that's going to be simple and professional. Include about 7 to 10 years of work history. Include your volunteer work. Make sure that you're listing your company name and your job title, the month and year of employment. Make sure that there are no errors on your resume. We are no longer having you include your address on the resume anymore. Employers can use that to automatically take you out of the running for a position because they are making a snap judgment on you. Most resumes are about 1 to 2 pages, and it's a combination of the hard and the soft skills. Again, quick little example, and you're going to note the clean heading up on the top. And this information is consistent, again, throughout your cover letter, your resume, your references, and your follow-up. References. Do not put on your resume, references available upon request. Don't do that anymore. I just saw 2 resumes this week that had that. Something that we no longer do. The employers know they are going to get it from you when they request it. Contact your references ahead of time. Let them know and ask them if you can use them. And when you do, get their information right away and have it all ready so that when you are in the position that you are interviewing, you are talking with the employer, yes, here are my references. Have several that are specifically work related. Use some that are from another organization or some coworkers. You can have a combination. And again, this is just a sample of a reference letter or a reference list. When you complete your application, which is different from your resume. Your application is going to have more information required on it than a resume. The application is an actual legal document. Make sure you are truthful on it. That is number one. When you apply to positions on different websites, most companies will have you complete it and require a username and a password. Write these down. Very, very important for you. I cannot stress that enough. Keep all of your resumes, all of your references, all of your information on a flash drive, nice and handy to have. And I highly, highly recommend a personal data record sheet. Has all of your information about your employment, your supervisors, your address, the phone number at work, start salary, end salary. It's all there, one list. After your interview, because you are going to be wonderful enough to have that interview, this is your final communication with them, the final way you get to stress how wonderful of a candidate you are and they want you to work with them. Email or a handwritten letter, both work for you. And again, this is your final marketing tool. If you need help on any part of this, then I encourage you to go to your local job center of Wisconsin. Wonderful resources available for you. Go and check it out. And then if you need to follow up with me separately, feel free to reach out to me. I will be sending this through the chat so you can have all of the information along with an additional resource sheet. And I know that this went long, but I can talk for hours on this. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.